The operating profit has shown a year-on-year growth of 23%, and it stood at 8,581 crores for the year 2011-12. As far as the net profit is concerned, it has shown a robust growth to 5,007 crores from a level of 4,242 crores last year. As I mentioned, a year-on-year growth of 18%. Even if one looks at the quarterly numbers, the net profit for the fourth quarter of the year 2011-12 was at 1,518 crores, which was a 17% growth over the previous year fourth quarter net profit of 1,294 crores. The strong performance in terms of operating and net profit growth has come on account of a very strong growth as far as the net interest income is concerned. The growth in net interest income was to the extent of 17% from a level of 8,802 crores last year to a level of 10,317 crores in the current year. Even if one looks at the fourth quarter numbers of the net interest income, it has shown a growth of 7% to a level of 2,797 crores as against 2,614 crores last year. The bank has been able to also show a good growth in terms of the fee-based income, which has overall shown a growth of 22% on a year-on-year basis, from a level of 2,809 crores to a level of 3,422 crores in the current year. The contribution to the fee income has come from all the segments. One, the commission and exchange income, which has shown a growth of 20%, improvement in the exchange transaction profit, as also the profit on sale of investment, all of which have shown a very robust growth. In terms of business parameters, the growth has been quite significant in a difficult, challenging year. The overall global business has shown a growth of 26%, both the deposits and advances growing by 26% each on a year-on-year basis. The domestic business has shown a growth of 20%, whereas the international business has shown a growth of 44%. The CASA deposits as of March 31st stood at 33.18% of the total deposits. I'm also happy to share that, apart from the terminal numbers, the overall growth in terms of average business during the year has been quite very strong at much above the 22% level. The global average business grew by 22%, advances by 25%, and deposits by 22%. Even the growth of the CASA deposits on an average basis has been quite consistent at about more than 15%. Some other efficiency and performance parameters have been equally strong. The bank has a capital adequacy ratio of 14.67% as of March 2012. The Tier 1 capital in that being as much as 10.83%. We have been also able to maintain the net interest margin at significant level. The domestic NIM for the current year being 3.51%, the international NIM being at 1.54%, and at global level, the overall NIM at 2.97%. We have been able to contain the incremental cost on deposits, while at the same time we have been able to improve our yield on advances and yield on investments significantly. The cost on deposits domestic was 6.84%, whereas the yield on advances domestic has been 11.79%. The corresponding figures for the last year were cost of deposits 5.33 and the yield on advances 10.25%. As far as the recovery performance is concerned, it has been another year of strong recovery. We have been able to recover almost about 909 crores in the current year, vis-a-vis 729 crores in the previous year. We have been able to contain the slippage ratio at about 1.44%. The gross NPA numbers at March 31st being 1.53%, 1.36%, and the net NPA numbers being 0.5%. The return on equity has been 19.04. The cost to income ratio has been contained at less than 45%. And I'm also happy to share that the aggressive provisioning policy as far as the bank is concerned has continued consistently, and the overall provision coverage ratio as of 31st March stood at 80.05%. The bank has been able to consistently maintain this ratio above 80% all the last few years. The overseas business continues to be one of the mainstays of business as far as the bank is concerned. The total share of overseas business is at about 28% as of March 31st. Contribution to profit from the overseas business has been at about 23%. As far as the overall portfolio of advances are concerned, the growth has come equitably from all segments, right from retail to SME to the corporate lending, as also the farm credit, all segments recording a good growth in the last year. Particularly, I would say that the bank has been able to increase its SME advances to almost by about 26%, and the rural lending by almost about 18%.